So right now we're about to head out in a couple minutes to head to Towson because we have a Super Plunge fundraiser event for Special Olympics. Make sure you leave a comment and make sure you like, but make sure whatever the comments are, make sure they're nice comments. I'll be checking. So hope you guys enjoy today's video.
Hello Danny, how are you?
Hey, I couldn't do it today, my friend.
Why not?
I had to dress for the occasion, my friend. I'm sorry.
So Danny is Mr. Keep It Real.
Until tonight.
Typically wears shorts.
Until tonight.
Showing off them legs, showing off them gams.
Yeah.
Powerful.
And we're wrong. What do you have to say?
I think you've interviewed and filmed me many times at Super Plunge, but it's always a pleasure to be on camera for Danny Grau, the man.
Awesome.
Give 5.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dan.
Keep it real now.
Here.
All right. Doing video now.
Oh, come on, I gotta go.
Here's a quick look at the dessert plate. Looks like they have like a I don't know what you call it, like an eclair and some sort of what's that thing? I don't know. But anyhow, they have like a cheesecake right there and a cannoli right there. What's up? What's our saying? I mean, what's my saying? Keep it real. Oh yeah. And stay hydrated. It's a hot one.
Thanks for the tips, Dan.
Good thing it's all good. Luckily, it's a good thing it's all inside where it's air conditioning. These are just the appetizers. They're like crab mini balls. I got some shrimp. I got some cocktail sauce. I got like a fish on a stick or whatever, and some mac and cheese. Let's devour this, and I'll enjoy it. Try this crab cake going in. I'm gonna use my hands.
It's just been, yeah. And I'm like,
Just the right amount of seasoning. Not overly salty, not overly fishy.
one of the parents just was like,
Big chunks of crab meat. Winner in my book. I also have this Parmesan crusted fish thing on a stick. Let's give this a try. Oh. No, it's not fish, it's chicken. Really good. Super tender. I give it like a solid 8. White cheddar mac and cheese going in. Oh my goodness. That mac and cheese is so good. I love how they use white cheddar, and I love how it's like a kind of almost like a baked macaroni cheese. I really don't really like an overly. I don't really like my macaroni and cheese where it's super overly creamy. I'm used to more like, I prefer more like a baked mac and cheese. So this is right up my alley. Probably give the mac and cheese an 8.7.
no, I'm forgave.
Of course, shrimp cocktail going in.
I'm like this. He's like, well, you know, if you had a card, you could have shared it.
Really can't mess up shrimp. It's really hard to mess up shrimp cocktail. 8 out of 10. Really good.
All right, I'll be right back.
Good start to the meal so far, but these are just the appetizers. The main star of the meal, will have to wait. Stacy, how's the food? Really good, huh?
Delish.
Meat, yes it is. It's really good. Really good.
I kind of want to go up and get some more crab cakes.
I'm on my second plate here.
Oh, good. If he's on his second plate, that means
I got a burger and I added some liquidy. I got some liquidy cheese I added to my burger.
Are you gonna get more food?
They have regular cheese, but I decided to go with the melting pot cheese.
The pretzel cheese?
The pretzel cheese. What's that other term? Plastic cheese, I guess? I don't know. Beer cheese. Beer cheese is what they refer to it as. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name.
This is my beautiful co-host for the evening, Claire. But before we begin, we're breaking from script. You see, tonight we're here to celebrate these incredible men and women, these athletes, these people that support. Give it up for all the beautiful Special Olympics athletes. Mr. Adam Hayes. This man runs 100 miles a day. He bikes 75 miles a day. He swims in the Ulster Harbor before he was asleep. He can do 6,000 push-ups. He's never lost a game of Street Fighter 2. He bench presses 350 pounds, and he always answers my drunk text at 11 p.m. Thank you, Adam, and happy birthday to you, my friend. As I said, please welcome my co-host for this evening, athlete Claire Potter.
Thank you for joining us tonight as we take the time to get to know more about Special Olympics Maryland, my fellow athletes, and summer champions who work to elevate the goals and mission of Special Olympics Maryland. We will also be presenting our third annual Foundation Award to four of our longtime volunteers and law enforcement partners, John Lehman, Jess Spalding, Doug Hall, and Ray Shipley.
Now, Claire, it was brought to my attention recently that you competed in the World Games in Turin, Italy, along with two of our other athletes in attendance tonight, Ralph Gemmel and Elena Camacho. Ralph and Elena, please stand. Ralph and Elena, congratulations, Turin, Italy. The closest I've ever been to Turin, Italy is a little place called Ocean City, Maryland, where I don't think they have quite the competitions that they do in Italy. What sports did you compete in Turin? Alpine skiing. I like to do snow tubing in my neighborhood. I tweaked my ankle last year because I am the coordination of the newborn giraffe. Also, how many medals did you win?
Bronze, silver, gold.
Bronze, silver, and gold. How about that? Now, being able to go to these World Games, this is a dream for a lot of people to be able to travel, to represent your family, your state, your county, your school. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. What do you remember the most about that trip?
I just enjoy making new friendships, all that traveling to different countries, bonding with my teammates, and having fun with my head coach. My head coach was really rewarding too, when the athletes go ahead and play their game.
Is your coach here tonight?
No, he's Alaska.
He's in Alaska right now. Is he still in tutu?
No, probably not.
Probably not. Yes, just color me suspicious of a man from Alaska in a tutu. I have a feeling he will end up on the nightly news on WBAL TV 11. Now, before we kick things off in tonight's program, we're going to be having a little fun. Okay, let's get into this. We're going to be doing some live, incredible auction items. So please, at this time, welcome to the stage our auctioneer for the evening, Mr. Michael Wolf.
Thank you, Claire and Justin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Towson University. I'd like to, at this time, invite our Founders Champion Award winners, Jeff Spalding and Doug Holland, to join me on the stage while I do a brief introduction. So if you guys could come on up. And Adam Hayes, the birthday boy, I'd like you to come up as well, so we can present the awards. So, teammates, I want to thank you for being here. Tonight, you'll see the powerful impact of champions who help change lives through sport. In 1970, inspired by conversations with Eunice Kennedy Shriver, our founders Tom Carson, Ed Mitchell, and John Reed set out to show Marylanders what individuals with intellectual disabilities could do. The genius of Mrs. Shriver, when she founded Specials, was her vision of sport to transform the lives of individuals with intellectual disabilities, and how that transformation was not only for athletes but connected to everyone who came in contact with our athletes. Our founders' efforts changed the way Marylanders think about people with intellectual disabilities. Joining us are our founders Ed Mitchell and John Reed, sitting here to my left. The third chair on the stage honors Tom Carson, who passed away in March after a courageous battle with cancer. It represents Tom's lasting impact and the spirit of this award. Created in 2023, the Founders Champion Award Award honors individuals whose leadership reflects the vision of our founders brought to life in 1970. It's easy to forget that as recently as the 1970s, individuals with intellectual disabilities were often institutionalized or segregated from society. Our founders challenged that reality, and we continue building on their legacy today. As we celebrate 40 years of law enforcement torch run, we recognize 4 exceptional leaders this evening: Greg Shipley, Doug Holland, Jeff Spaulding, and John Newton. They are longtime champions for our athletes. I met them on my second day as CEO in 2013. Their passion for the torch run and our athletes was clear from the start. Each of them has played a unique role and vital role for the torch run and special experiment. You will hear from each recipient in the video, but here's just a quick intro to provide context. Greg Shipley led efforts with the Maryland State Police that launched the polar bear plunge. Doug Holland rose to be Hyattsville Police Chief and brought a parent's perspective as a father of an athlete as he helped. Jeff Spaulding served the last 15 years of his 45 years in law enforcement as Westminster Chief of Police and a leader and model for other chiefs across the state. And John Newton participated in Maryland's first torch run in 1986 and as state director expanded the reach of Special Olympics Maryland's torch run not only here but beyond the state, worldwide. Thanks to their leadership, the Maryland torch run has raised over $73 million since 1986. Think about that. So we're proud and we'll present them with awards after the video. But we'll begin the video to honor Tom Karski, featuring some comments, some feedback that he provided during a recorded session with specialist athlete Sam Livingston, who's here this evening, and his parents Richard and Janet, who joined us on a Zoom call as we celebrated the 50th anniversary. So we're going to start the video with Tom, and then you'll hear from our 4 honorees. Unfortunately, Greg Shipley and John Newton are not here this evening to receive their awards. We'll certainly get them their awards, but when we finish the video, we will present Doug and Jeff with their awards. So let's have a look at this video. That is not
You're looking for something that you can reward success, and you're looking at it to be repeated over and over again. We both know that for activities to repeat it, there's definitely some confidence and emphasis in their lives. They believe that they can do anything. They're moving forward, not in athletics, but in their life. And so I look at them and say, gee, you know, show people again and again that really do something and repeat it, they can do it. And I think that you guys stand on that, you guys are higher level spending, trying to reach different groups, different people, you're doing youth program, and all of those things are stuff that you'd like to see happen in the next 50 years. And just and they will go beyond the games themselves. They're a part of life. I mean, I love to look at it. And John and I had a great opportunity in that, and looking back, we probably changed thousands of kids' lives. And they didn't realize it at the time, but going back at it now, wow, how the power.
I was ready. My first significant involvement in Special Olympics began in 1986. That's when then Chief Jim Roby, the Arkansas Police Department, began the first torch run in Maryland. I got grouped together with Westminster Maryland State Police, and we joined that torch run in 1986. Carol had been a Howard County. I've been a part of it ever since. Most every law enforcement officer, we begin our career, we fill out that application. There's a question on it that says, why do you want to do this job? And most of us wrote down in some form or another to help people. And often, as a police officer, we don't, you can changing, and you don't often see the significance of what you're doing and the impact that it has on people that you're trying to serve and protect. But in Special Olympics, that's very different because you make one-on-one lifelong friendships. I don't have the most memorable experience because there are so many memorable experiences that I've had throughout my time. Just to see the good this organization does every day in the lives of children, adults, and intellectuals. It's meaningful and it's important for me to continue to be a part of it.
I did the very first plunge when it originated back in the 90s, and I started doing the super plunge the second year. I did that for about 12 or 13 years, and I try to come down and do the police plunge every year. And while I do it for the athlete. My daughter, Desiree Ron, was an athlete from the time she was 8 years old to the time she passed. She passed at 52. She participated in the plunges and the super plunges until she was 50. We've gotten to know so many of the folks involved in Special Olympics, and to see the warmth and the camaraderie, it just makes me want to keep coming back. Inclusion means everybody getting equal opportunities. There's room for everybody at the table, and there's certainly unique, different ideas and discussions. One of the things that I've seen, and I think this is a perfect example of inclusion, over the years in Special Olympics, the athletes play different roles, and they're more and more involved. Athletes are members of the board of directors now, and they're employees of Special Olympics, and you can't get a better example of inclusion.
How can you say that first? And like many young police officers, I got involved because it was a role and it was something for me to go to an activity. And I lived, and over the course of time, I got to meet some athletes, I got to go to some games and more athletes, and that was the more I went, the more I wanted to do. When I first got started, we would have athletes at our torch runs and on the camp to kind of look down at athletes on pretty much every aspect of what we do in torch running. So we got athlete ambassadors. Now when we get to conferences, we take athletes with us, and we try to move athletes to the opportunity to experience the torch run because we want to be inclusive, we want them to be part of our team very much well. I certainly see the partnership between the torch run and Special Olympics to continue on into the future. And I also see inclusion being a very important around the police officers that are coaches and unified partners, and I expect that to continue as well. So I see them moving towards it. It's given me more than I've ever given to the torch run or to Special Olympics. It's given an opportunity to know so many incredible athletes and it's just more high in my life. And it just means a tremendous amount to me. I've been involved with Special Olympics through the World War since 1986. And I'm very proud that our whole state here in Maryland is one of the top fundraisers in the entire world. And that's because of the dedication of our officers to working hand in hand with Special Olympics staff and programs and working as a team and working with the athletes. It just makes Special Olympics my life so special to me. Has it impacted my life? It's just almost beyond words. It's just been an amazing journey for my family. My wife's been involved, and I couldn't do what I've done over the years without the support of my family. But it has impacted my family in ways that are indescribable. It's very humbling to receive this award, but it's not just me. I mean, there's thousands of police officers all over the state of Maryland that work tirelessly every single month to create awareness for Special Olympics. While I'm proud to receive it, I don't accept it for all that because without this team that we have here, none of this would be possible. From our officers that work the road, the chiefs and sheriffs across the state, without their love and support and commitment to the law enforcement for Special Olympics, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
This Founders Champion Award is really, it's a tribute and a lasting legacy to you. So what I'd like to first is Claire, can you present Jeff Small? You guys stand up. Come on in here. Adam, I'm going to take that for you. You get in there with those guys. Let's get a photo, okay? We're going to look right here, guys.
Look straight down the middle. Straight down the middle.
All right.
Resulted in all you see tonight, and all you see is also state here. I do want to take a moment to thank my family who are here with me tonight, my wife and kids, put up with a lot over the years to see me go away for one sports run event or another. And especially my granddaughter is here tonight. She's 6 years old, and she was born on the police plunge day 6 years ago. So I got to leave the family, go home, and see my new granddaughter. So thank you, Jim. Thank you to all the athletes, and I certainly appreciate this recognition.
All right. Let's keep these gentlemen here, and they are being presented with gold medals. So on behalf of Specialist Maryland and all of our athletes and everybody gathered here, thank you so much for continuing to make this time.
Following champions as an example of so many who are leading the way for inclusion. And please make your way to the stage as I announce your name. Dr. Bradley Schlager, President and CEO of the Kennedy Krieger Institute. Chris Alonso from Harvard State Garden Elementary and Middle School. The Schmidt family from Harford County. To bring up things that you know here. Man, shoulder muscles like bowling balls. Man, who had been so thin, so illustrious. Man, who once played 18 rounds before 18. That's right, 18 whole ones. A man that every 2 weeks I still money from a 98 off. A man who my very face is hands. A man whose beautiful wife is with us here this evening and tolerates me every time we go out. God bless you. CEO of Kennedy Krieger Institute and holds the Zonville Krieger Faculty Endowed Chair at Kennedy Krieger. He's also a professor of neurology and pediatrics at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. At the Institute, Dr. Schlager leads a team of more than 3,100 staff and faculty members to advance the nearly 90-year-old organization's mission of improving the lives of children, adolescents, and young adults with disorders and injuries of the brain, spinal cord, and musculoskeletal system.
Before joining Kennedy Krieger in 2018, Dr. Schlager served on the faculty of the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis for nearly 20 years as a professor of neurology, pediatrics, medicine, psychiatry, and radiology. In addition to directing pediatric and developmental neurology at the School of Medicine, he was the neurologist in chief at St. Louis Children's Hospital.
The range of champions that are supporting our athletes every day. It's a chance to honor those who have helped shape our movement, from longtime champions like our founders and Jeff and Doug, who you just saw receive their award for the Founders Champion Award, to those just beginning their journey, and to new supporters experiencing the power of our athletes for the first time. We thank you all. Through sport, Specialist Maryland creates a world where opportunity is not limited by disability. Inclusion here is not occasional. It's lived every day, on and off the field. Our champions include athletes, families, volunteers, and supporters. Each of you plays roles in building interactive, inclusive communities of dignity and respect across Maryland. Now let's have a look at some of those champions.
What causes harm? The dictionary requires the competition, especially in sport. While we can argue with that, there are many more ways to be a champion. Our champion is an official ranking entering to a competition. Our champion is a volunteer dedicating their time to their entertainment team. Our champion is a coach who passes on their knowledge to improve their play. Our champion is an athlete who uses their ball while others work. Our champion is someone who makes an effort to improve others. Win or lose, we can all be champions.
Mission of the Career Institute. Who are the people that you serve? What is your mission? How would you describe your impact you have on the world?
Well, thanks, Jim. And let's start with our mission. It's my favorite place to start. The mission of the Career Institute is totally unique. It is to transform the lives of children, youth, and adults with and with support, disorders of the nervous system through innovative, equity-based, culturally relevant clinical care, research, education, community partnership, advocacy, and training. Diversity, cultural and linguistic competency, and inclusion are foundational in the services the Institute provides. That statement demonstrates how we wrap our arms around neurodevelopmental disabilities in its entirety in a way that's unlike any place in Maryland, in the U.S., and beyond. We see patients from all over the country, all over the world. We serve publicly funded students from throughout the state of Maryland and DC in our school systems. We do research that's transformative, and we train 1,000 professionals every year, all focused on neurodevelopmental issues. And we have a powerful advocacy mission as well. So we impact the lives of people with intellectual developmental disabilities in a comprehensive and unique way. And it's a privilege to be part of this amazing organization.
Yeah, it really is unbelievable. So now we've got that as context. Let's just talk about how we've come together and why we partner with Special Olympics. And for further context, Brad and I met, and this is the way it should work, right? Dave Swider, our current board chair, president CEO for CQ, was on our board and said, you and Brad should get together. And, it's interesting. You know the name of Kennedy Krieger, and Eunice Kennedy Shriver is the founder of Special Olympics. So there's obvious synergies there. And so ultimately you agreed to come on board. Can you share with the group what that motivation was and why is it important to partner with us at Special Olympics?
We should point out that Dave was also on our board. So that's a classic Baltimore story I've come to understand. And it's about people and connectivity. And the reason why it matters so much for me to become involved with Special Olympics Maryland, and you already referenced, there's this connectivity that already exists. the vision, the wisdom, the energy that led to the origin of what used to be called the John F. Kennedy Institute and Special Olympics came from the same space, and that's Eunice Kennedy Shriver and her influence on her brother, President John F. Kennedy. And when, in the 1960s, when he was in office, he led, with her encouragement and motivation, a federal response to the national need to address intellectual and developmental disabilities through clinical care, education, community living, and research. It led to legislation that brought about funding, what used to be called the John F. Kennedy Institute when we opened our doors in 1967, the corner of Broadway and the Monument in East Baltimore. We were the first funded and built by those resources that came from the Kennedy administration legislation. And then, shortly after that, as you all know, 1968, the first games in Chicago at Soldier Field. 1970, Special Olympics Maryland. It's all happening at the same time, coming from the same space. So it's the most natural thing for us to be partnered. Before I came to Kennedy Krieger in 2018, my colleagues who are here from the Institute, there was already this collaboration going on, and the intent was to really supercharge it, which I think we've accomplished.
Yeah, I think that's right. That's a good segue, because one of the things that is unique about both organizations is the commitment to lifetime support, both from early childhood and through adulthood. And I would just reinforce that for us at Special Olympics Maryland, as we continue to move through to the future, these types of strategic partnerships are critical to our ability to advance our mission, reach more athletes, and through that collaboration have a profoundly positive impact on our individuals. Can you just talk about the range of programs and the nature of those? We have a Healthy Young Athletes program.
So let's start with that. So that's from the early childhood side of the equation. We're a lifespan-oriented organization, but we believe deeply in the importance of early childhood for both typically and atypically developing children. And so we have leveraged our expertise in intellectual disability and our expertise in early childhood to bring together resources and opportunity for a unified, integrated, inclusive environment in our early childhood centers to implement screening, pediatric and neurodevelopmental screening for children ages 2 to 7 years, and actually do a pilot program that pushed it even younger to as young as 6 months. Implemented programs of motor skills development incorporated into our curriculum in those early childhood centers, created a health information forum for families to get resources around challenges in parenting, all centered around the notion that participation in sport matters immensely. It matters for physical fitness, for social and emotional development, and being in a unified setting, as our early childhood centers are, you also get the benefit of that inclusive, the experiencing inclusion.
Yeah, so I would just have to sure when Brad is very humble, when he talks about Kenny Krieger being a world leader in this space, our Young Athletes program, up until recently, has been for individuals aged 2 to 7. And it's through our partnership with our friends at Kenny Krieger that has resulted in this groundbreaking move. And it doesn't seem groundbreaking, right? Like, why wouldn't we identify as early as possible? Research shows physical activity in early childhood is an accelerator of cognitive development. So the sooner that you can identify that, whether it's an individual with an intellectual disability, obviously that has a huge impact. But that type of outcome and impact is the direct result of Brad and the team, some of whom are here this evening with us. Talk about the adult side of this.
So as I mentioned, we have a lifespan perspective. Why do we work so hard in healthcare and education? What's the goal? It's not just for a good report card on the health side or in school. It's for an entire lifetime of opportunity to live the fullest of this gratifying life. And that includes the opportunity to have the dignity of work. So one of our major initiatives is the Neurodiversity Work Program. The idea here is there is a population of individuals ready, willing, conference coming up here in Baltimore at the Hilton Inner Harbor, October 23rd and 24th, day and a half conference. It's called Tapping into Talent. Encourage everybody to check it out because it dives deep into this idea that neurodiversity is a really meaningful objective.
Yeah, and I will take the opportunity to just reinforce that because one of the objectives tonight of this concept of celebration of champions and bringing a champion for our athletes and the people that Brad serves is to expose people to these opportunities, right? If one person comes here this evening and is moved to think, how could I include somebody with neurodiversity in my workplace when I've never done it before? That'll be a win for us, right? Like, I think this is how we grow. It's really one person at a time, and the relationship that we have with Kennedy Krieger is really contributing to that. I'd be remiss if I didn't go back to the young athletes piece. Tomorrow afternoon from 4:30 to 6:30 up in the Towson Center, we're going to have a young athletes celebration. And we'll have individuals. We've got 35 individuals who have come through our program, age 6 months up to 7. And to Brad's point about the inclusive piece, it has been, this young athlete program has been the fastest growing program in Special Olympics relative to new athletes. And the value of individuals with intellectual disabilities identified at an early age, interacting with their non-intellectually disabled peers is a tremendous way to create this inclusive, unified generation going forward. And I just want to take the opportunity, we're not here this evening, but two staff people, Mackenzie Urban and Kayla Shields on our team, have been instrumental in leading that effort. So, just as we wrap this up, any final thoughts?
Well, one thing I want to make sure you all know is that a week ago today, we shared a stage at Kennedy Krieger's Society event where we celebrated this outstanding leader and Special Olympics Maryland with our Advocate of the Year award. So I'm going to tunelessly ask for a round of applause for Jim. I think the other thing to point out is that just to reinforce this is the power of partnership. We share values, we share mission, but it only really manifests when we're together working creatively solving problems. And our team, the Special Olympics Maryland team, thinking creatively together is transforming experiences for myriad individuals. So it's a real privilege. I was going to say the team is here. Many of them are involved in Special Olympics. Where Stacy Fiedler, Stacy Suskow, Paul Lipkin, Ben Chanel, Marcella Frank.
Let's give these guys a round of appreciation. It really is. When we talk about they don't do what they do to stand up. Believe me, they do not want to stand up, so I appreciate it. It's a deserving round of applause, and really, Brad, thank you so much, and a tribute to your leadership and your team. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you so much, Brad. Yes, we've been doing these celebrations of champions, these gatherings here for years now. There's always a fun theme. I love the idea of what Brad said. Partnership, really, partnership between your organizations, mine, everybody here, really. Special Olympics, it's a community far beyond just the athletes and the games themselves. The partnership's really what it means. And Kennedy Krieger's impact on our community is truly extraordinary, and we are so proud to call them a committed partner and champion of Special Olympics Maryland.
Unified Champion Schools program promotes interactive and inclusive school communities through unified sports, youth leadership, and whole school engagement. While it is a student-led movement, their work is supported by educators and administrators committed to empowering people for social change. We are joined tonight by educators and administrators of Farmstead, Garza Elementary Middle School in Baltimore City. They are Baltimore City's first school to earn a Maryland
efforts to the Armstead Gardens a safe, inclusive learning environment for all students. Thank you.
I miss school lunch so bad. All right, my girlfriend's got me eating riced cauliflower right now. That's horrible. I hate it. I want to get down some of that chocolate milk you guys are getting. That's incredible. Listen, the impact of the Unified Champion Schools program at Armistead Gardens that you could hear and see from that video, it's only made possible by the work of educators and administrators who work tirelessly, nonstop, to build school communities where all students are valued and respected. And would the Armistead Garden staff please now stand? Please rise for those in attendance tonight, along with Chris. Please, one more time, stand and be recognized for your incredible work. I got to look at kid with all the jewelry. Tell me what kid is not amazing. He's got 95 DJ written all over him. Listen, after tonight, there's going to be an opening. I know Dan's talking to me afterwards. We're picking that kid up for a contract. Thank you again, Armistead Gardens, for your commitment to inclusion. Shout out to the Owls. I want one. I'm not kidding. All right, men's meeting. You exemplify what it means to be a unified champion school, and we look forward to hearing good news from the National Banner Selection Committee later this year. Thank you again, Lucas.
Schmidt.
Testing.
Yeah. My name is Nancy Schmidt. I started as a volunteer first. I became a coach, a unified partner, and now I'm the area leader for Special Olympics in Harford County.
Yeah, Mike.
Hi, my name is Mike. I'm a special athlete. I play softball, basketball, tennis, softball, my favorite sport.
Hi, I'm Andrew Schmidt. I'm Mike's younger brother, and I am a former unified partner and current coach for flag football and basketball in Harford County.
Hi, I'm Dan Schmidt. Currently Mike's tennis double. I've been a Special Olympics coach, unified partner, and just an overall volunteer.
I'm the father, in case you hadn't noticed. I've been a partner, coach basketball, softball, tennis, played soccer and football and basketball as a unified partner.
This weekend in softball during the summer game, so I got two questions. A, how's the team looking? And B, are we bringing home a gold?
I think the team is looking good this year.
Yeah.
We have some nice big hitters. We have some long ball hitters. Fielding, we're a little shaky on, but that's okay. We score a lot of runs, and that's how we try to win our games. And Mike, what do you think? Are we going to bring home a gold?
I definitely can.
So your whole family is involved in social programs. How do you start involved?
We started getting involved. Mike joined when he was 12 years old. He first found out about swimming, tried swimming for a couple of weeks, and then found out there was softball. And sadly, that was the end of his swim career. And we moved to softball from there, and we really just got involved by saying to the coach, do you need any help? what can we help with? Because we were there at practices anyway, and they put us to work.
Yeah, I think we really got involved, especially just with Mike. We have a really strong bond as brothers, and just really following the example that our parents set for us, just always wanting to volunteer, and just really overall as good people. So it was not a long jump from just being in competition and then seeing Mike being in these great competitions with all these great athletes. It was really a no-brainer to just join in. We've always been we love a good competition, even if it's just in the backyard playing pickleball. So it was a short jump for us.
Now, obviously, your family clearly believes in supporting not just Michael, but all of the athletes in Special Olympics in Harford County. Why has this been so important to all of you?
I think it's really a lot about relationships. You know, we all got involved around one of those volunteers coming in fresh to this program, and just you build relationships, you form bonds with people. You see the same people in different sports, you see the same people in the same sports the next year, and you build those relationships, and it becomes less about volunteering, less about just coaching, and more about taking care of the people you love, helping run these programs that we've seen really mean a lot to that. And I like to tell people it's all about what you put into it. You know, if you throw yourself into this instead of just dipping your toes, if you throw yourself into this, it really becomes an important part of who you are. It's more about other people instead of just checking the box for volunteering or doing something for yourself. It's about giving. It's about being there to care for the people you form these relationships with over the years of the program.
I also think that we try to make sure we always tell new volunteers, if you can, you know, a lot of times you think, oh, I'm going to go volunteer. And you might think, I'm going to drag myself there tonight after I've already done X, Y, and Z today. But you get there, and then you leave there in so much of a lighter mindset and a happier heart because you've taken the time. And those athletes give us way more than we give them.
And I'll shoot from the hip here. If anybody's got any questions about maybe volunteering tonight, Jim, for volunteers, things like that, can somebody approach you after the event? I mean, I think there's some people here that are probably pretty moved tonight. Find Jim, find Schmidt to tell you all about how to do that. And I'm going to throw another question, Nancy and Mike, if I could, please. Lots of people, they talk about the Special Olympics as a family, competing, helping, coaching, training. How's being involved with Special Olympics in so many different ways, in all the different facets that your family has been? How's it impacted your family?
As they said, they grew up with Mike as their brother and competing with him and having fun with him. And so them joining Special Olympics and being with us just helped them naturally to grow, to be more empathetic, to be more thoughtful, to be better people. And that's what this is all about, is recognizing people for being people and respecting them as people and loving them. And as Andrew said, building those relationships and just spending time with people who may not have anybody else to spend time with, because you have nobody to care about them. So volunteer if you can, and spend some time with people and get to know them.
Now, somebody told me that back in 2018, your entire family, the entirety of the Schmidt family, Team Schmidt, played the Team Maryland unified basketball team that traveled to Seattle, Washington to compete in the Special Olympics USA Games. What was it like getting to share the court together as a family?
It was awesome.
How nuts is Mom getting? Just going hard in the paint, taking angles. Just calling. She's getting the ref's face, I know.
No, not the refs. I am known as the big girl on the inside. I will go after rebounds. I cannot lie.
The rod of the Schmidt family. Elbows and chest.
No, it was absolutely incredible. And, you know, I don't think we ever really talked about this as a family a whole lot. I mean, in our 15, 20 years as a family involved in Special Olympics Harford County, you know, there have been times where we all support each other at practices. Sometimes one of us is coaching one sport. You know, in the fall I coach flag football, Dan and Mike are tennis doubles. And we're just, as you said in the last question about family, kind of Special Olympics being family, our family has grown as we have spent more time in the program, but there have only been 1 or 2 times in our entire 15 or 20-year history of the program that we have all been together on the same team. And it happened to be that 1 year that we got selected to go to nationals. It was incredible. And just to have that experience, it's been a memory that we've really enjoyed having. We still talk about it. You know, I have a 3-year-old son who loves basketball, and we still have the Team Maryland uniforms and the trading cards, and he's just all about them. And we still hold on to that as a cherished memory, and something that we all really, really enjoyed. And it was just an incredible experience.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Last year, we also like to keep in sports, so they can more fresh and entertainment, playing and competing with you.
Next, thank you guys. I enjoyed being on the court, the field with the team. I enjoyed being around the coach and cheering for me. And it's great that they're there. I appreciate that they're helping me along. Thank you guys. I love you.
It's interesting how it's evolved over all these years. I remember Jim's first plunge when he became CEO, they were going to cancel his plunge of the year. The weather was horrific, and I remember Jim, he was just, what are we going to do with all these people? We've gotten a little more nimble over the years, it's grown quite a bit. We were raising $2 million at that time, and Jim turned, he said, there's 20,000 special Olympics across the entire. How are we going to do this? How can we get better? $2 million is 42% of an operating revenue at the time, and we said we should let's get this to $5 million. And over the last few years, we crushed it to $5 million. We're very close to that. In 2026, we're very close.
There are so many nonprofits in the community that you could support and partner with. You continue to partner with Special Olympics Maryland. Why is it important and what is it that motivates you to continue to support Special Olympics Maryland?
Well, motivation is serve and all the athletes that are here tonight, the tireless effort from Special Olympics staff, people that know our hardworking staff in any medium, in any business that you and his team, they are relentless in pursuit. We serve thousands of athletes every year. We still want to get to a number where we can serve 20,000 athletes throughout the entire state. At the same time, the motivation also comes from my team, it's like Towson, and the thousands of employees around the country that we employ in media. Our partners from WRC Television are here as well. You have WBA TV, WRC, two additional licenses, these in the entire country, and two surrounding radio stations in the entire country. We have the ability to do good for people that in some cases we can trust with, like we do with Adam and Eric and Monique and our crowd. And you have an opportunity to do good for people and to job with and that's our motivation.
Thank you for that insight, David. We also believe that teams at 90 Rock and 1090 AM, we've been instrumental in having them support SOD also. So let's turn to Justice Legal, who has worked with me tonight as an ROC. Justin, first of all, thank you for partnering with me tonight. It's been a lot of fun. What is it about Special Olympics Maryland that motivates you to continue to support me and my fellow athletes year after year?
Well, I'm happy to know Dan's sentiment. It's getting to meet the people with Special Olympics, the athletes, the coaches, the people in the Special Olympics organization, especially the families, you know, like the family of the Shaw here, the Schmitz, they're incredible. And it really is the best that Maryland has to offer and outside of Maryland. And, you know, these are lifelong friendships that I've made. I mean, I see Adam Hayes. Adam Hayes isn't a man I work with. He's my friend. I text Adam. I mean, you and I are texting each other about the Nintendo Switch, like all the time. You play the new Zelda, oh my God, I'm so sick. You want to get online and play Fortnite? Like, I've made friends, and I know I've made lifelong friends. And it's a time of year, you know, not to get too much weeds in radio and broadcasting in general, but usually after the holidays, things slow down a little bit, and everybody sort of goes back into hibernation for a little while. But with Special Olympics polar bear plunge, the minute that the clock strikes midnight and it becomes a new year, that's when it ramps up for us. And that's when we go, it's time to put our foot down on the gas. We've got money to raise. We've got polar bear plunging to do, freezing for a reason. We plunge, they play, and January, which traditionally in other markets becomes kind of a dull point of the year and everybody sits on our laurels. This is one of the most exciting times of the year for us. So it's one of my favorite things that we work with, everybody from our various organizations, from the Maryland Food Bank, Horizon Day Camp. We work with a lot of great organizations through Hearst Broadcasting. But Special Olympics, if January is the Monday of the year, we look forward to Mondays with Hearst because of Special Olympics.
And just one of these people who might be wondering anything about how they could support.
I can't stress it enough. The games are incredible, and the accomplishments of these athletes, Brandon back there, my co-host from a year ago, this guy absolutely crushes it. A new Claire, Joe, where you at? It's a party at the polar bear plunge. Okay, well, how about a little round of applause if you have plunged in the past? If you've plunged in the polar bear plunge.
I have.
Anybody next to you that's happened, what is it, you haven't had a chance to plunge. If you've never been to the American State Police Polar Bear Plunge, if you've never been, I can't encourage you enough. This is the year you have to get down there because it is an absolute festival. It is a party from sunup until midday. The food, the games, the camaraderie. It's 1,000 friends. We like to say with 98 Rock and WBAL, we don't have fans, we have friends. And we feel connected to these people. So if you've never had a chance to do it, you've been missing out. 2026 is your year. As we strive to get that $5 million goal, be a part of that as we cross the finish line. This is your year to help us do it.
And then back to you for our final question. Can you share with everyone here tonight why they should consider part of the Special Maryland? How could they benefit from being a champion Special Maryland athletes like they?
That's a great question. So, for those of you that have not watched Justice Right, we'll see you as a Wednesday card in February. There are byproducts of giving this. So look at my taxes are great TV stations, some of my most dear friends. And my wife there says, "No, I like drinking soda." And we're talking about where I take to the plunge, and we bring these children around how we're going to live it. And in our tests, those are some memories that they developed. Our staff watching the video and they come to the TV radio station and we pick off a very plunge. And after the story, at the time he was in his 30s, he had 30 surgeries at that point in his life. And he also shared this one fact, he did something like that, and that shoes exercise, let's do the exercise. One of my employees found out he likes to wear Ray-Bans. She called a friend of hers and called her and she was Ray-Bans and said, "Yeah, you got a couple pairs of shoes delivered to you free of charge." So it's like, oh, the good that comes out of this is tacticals. And I never know this room right now, a lot of different business friends, a lot of the CEOs, and all the sponsorships. Matt Eddy from Care First here, he's the CEO of Care First, and he has that time to be on the board with us. It's the right thing to do as a business partner. I look at that and think about we should share our system with your friend. We all have this time that we can give back to the community. You look around the room, you turn to the left, you turn to the right, and you have a person that guarantee you will feel so good doing this with this group. You'll make friends. You'll feel terrible about yourself. Your Facebook friends are dead because this was 20 miles on the way and you're in your couch. But that's true. Stop that. But it's a special opportunity for you as individuals to bring your record into this program.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. And one more time, ladies and gentlemen, Claire, my co-host for the evening. All of you have a wonderful night. Drive safely. Go O's, go Ravens. 98online.com, the free 98 Rock mobile app, available on your Android phone as well as your Apple device. Live stream Monday through Friday, just as